Hello my fellow Redditors. Today we have two stories, please enjoy. First story. Title. My wife isn't the mother she said she would be, and I'm really upset about it. We've been together for 12 years and married for 8. We always got along well. She wanted 2 to 3 children and I was hesitant because of my tough childhood. We often talked about having kids and even picked out names for 3 boys and girls. 4 years ago, when our first child was born, I really embraced being a dad. It felt natural and easy, and I was ready for more kids. Even though I started working again after taking 4 weeks off, I did half of all the parenting tasks like changing diapers and waking up at night. But she didn't want more children. During the first 2 years with our daughter, it was clear she didn't enjoy being a mom. She couldn't sit down to play with our daughter and preferred to do her own hobbies instead. I often had to take sick leave to look after our daughter because my wife would get overwhelmed after a week alone with her, even though I work from home and try to help during breaks. I wondered if she might be depressed, but she's usually happy, has hobbies, and goes out with friends. However, whenever she has to take care of our daughter for a few days, she struggles. It's important to note that we both work in the same field. My wife is very smart but not very motivated. She does the minimum required, while I love our work, do extra research, and earn 3 times as much as she does. She could achieve more but chooses not to, which is okay, but she still expects me to take time off when our daughter is sick. Her income wouldn't cover our lifestyle if I didn't work, and she doesn't want to cut back on things like ordering food. I feel awful. My daughter is my biggest support. Her smile and laughter mean everything to me. I can't think about divorce because I come from a broken family myself. I envy other moms who enjoy spending time with their children. Update. My wife wasn't always distant with our daughter. She admits struggling to connect through play, which seems to be a challenge for her. She works from home, but when I take sick leave, she becomes completely absorbed in her work, avoiding interaction with our daughter. My feelings for her are complicated. We still go on dates and share intimate moments, though less frequently than before our daughter was born. We also have significant support from her parents. She often prefers to send our daughter to her grandparents every chance she gets. While the grandparents enjoy this, I sometimes have to encourage my wife to participate in family activities like zoo visits over the weekends. Regarding a second child, I've never pressured her. I've expressed readiness only in private conversations, but publicly, we maintain that we're undecided. This past Friday, after dropping our daughter at her grandparents', I spoke with my wife about my concerns and how I might support her better. I suggested she take some time off, perhaps a few days alone or with a friend, which she thought was a good idea. The next day, when I returned to pick up our daughter, my wife had packed 2 large duffel bags and left. She didn't answer my calls, but she did respond to messages, coldly noting that her departure wasn't about our daughter. It's been several days now, and my daughter has asked about her mom. I tell her that her mom can't come home but still loves her, though it feels like I'm not being entirely honest. I'm struggling to sleep and eat, and even my in-laws are clueless about her whereabouts. I plan to speak with a lawyer tomorrow and start documenting everything, as advised by a friend. I continue to handle daily routines like kindergarten drop-offs and pickups, planning weekend activities, and even handling more chores at home. I also try to keep our relationship alive by planning date nights when we have help from the grandparents. Thank you for your support, and please stay safe. Second story. Title. He, 42M, is so jealous of our kids and it's starting to scare me, 35F. My husband, 42M, and I, 35F, struggled with fertility issues due to his health problems and had to undergo medical treatments to have our 3 children. Despite the challenges and the cost, we were committed because he deeply wanted biological children. Now, after all that effort, he's become jealous and distant with our infants. He seems to view our children as rivals for my attention. If I'm holding them, he gets upset. Whenever they require my focus, he becomes irritable and angry. This negativity is so intense that our 6-month-old babies start crying whenever he's near, as if they can sense his mood. I've tried suggesting that he spend more time with us as a family to strengthen their bond, but it hasn't helped. Lately, he's been complaining about me still breastfeeding, even though we also use formula, giving him plenty of opportunities to feed them himself. He's also expressed disappointment with our life and marriage post-children, which he had eagerly wanted. We've been together for 8 years, married for 7. I never imagined we would face such issues. He refuses counseling and dismisses my concerns, suggesting it's all in my head. I fear for our marriage and our children's well-being. Moreover, his behavior has escalated to avoiding us. He comes home late, spends weekends away, and rarely engages with us. I found flirtatious texts with a woman named Jessica on his phone. Nothing physical may have happened yet, but their interaction worries me. I feel trapped and frightened. I haven't worked in 2 years, all our savings went into fertility treatments, and I have no nearby family to help. I'm constantly exhausted, struggling to cope, and don't know what to do. Where can I go with 3 young children and no financial support? What happened to us? Is this who he is now? Update. Just hours after I sought advice here, I caught my husband in an alarming act with our son. While responding to comments on the forum, I glanced at the baby monitor and saw my husband entering our children's room. He was whispering harshly at them, and although I couldn't hear everything, I distinctly made out him saying he hated them and wished them dead. Then, to my horror, he pinched our son, who didn't cry, suggesting this might not have been the first time. The situation escalated quickly. By the time I processed what I was witnessing on the monitor, my husband was already heading down the stairs. Driven by instinct, I confronted him at the bottom of the stairs, leading to a heated and lengthy confrontation involving both verbal and physical altercations. The noise attracted the attention of our neighbors, and soon the police were at our door. I explained everything to the officers, but they said they couldn't take any action since there were no visible bruises on my son and our baby monitor didn't record the incident. After some discussion, the police convinced my husband to pack a bag and leave, which he did reluctantly. Since then, he has bombarded me with calls and messages, pleading for forgiveness and attributing his actions to depression, stress, and jealousy over the attention I give our babies. I've only responded once, telling him plainly to go away. I've also consulted a lawyer who advised me to keep him unblocked in case he says anything that could be used against him legally. I barely recognized the man he has become. How could this happen? I am resolute in getting a divorce and securing full custody of our children. I've already taken them to see our family doctor, who confirmed they are in good health with no signs of physical abuse. I've filed a report with the police and my lawyer is handling the legal proceedings. I am now preparing to start the divorce process. Has anyone else experienced something similar? How did you handle it? Before anyone criticizes, know that I am determined to protect my children and ensure they have a safe and loving environment moving forward.